Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to rank the Class 1A students from weakest to strongest from My Hero Academia. This will be all 20 students from weakest to strongest, so let's just begin. So at last place we got Toru. Toru's quirk is invisibility, though this doesn't give her any boosts in her physical ability, so let's move on. So next up we got Mineta. His quirk is Pop Off, which allows him to produce unlimited sticky balls from his head that he can throw like projectiles and bounce on and stuff like that. Though his physical abilities are pretty weak, so let's move on. So at number 18 we have Koda. His quirk is Anivoice, which allows him to talk to and manipulate animals at will. Though in Japan there isn't many dangerous animals, so he can't really control that many powerful animals. The most of the animals that he can just control are animals like bugs and birds, and his physical abilities are pretty weak, so let's move on. So next up we got 17, which is Jiro. Jiro's quirk is pretty weird. It's called Earphone Jack, which is a pretty weird quirk, but this basically gives her these earphone jacks so she can listen through walls and make sound canceling. This quirk isn't that powerful. It can be used, but we haven't seen that much from Jiro, and her physical abilities doesn't seem to be the strongest, so let's move on. So at number 16 we got Aoyama Yuga. His quirk is Naval Laser, which allows him to shoot laser through his navel, though he can't do this for that many seconds at a time, and he can also do it 2 or 3 times before his tummy hurts too much, which means that this quirk is basically useless if you don't hit the first or second time. These beams are pretty powerful and can bust through concrete, but his physical abilities are pretty bad, so let's move on. So next up we got Ojiro. Ojiro's quirk is Tail, which gives him a tail, which is kind of like a third arm. He is very strong in combat since he has pretty good physical abilities and also love martial arts. He's also very good at using his quirk to prevent his martial arts. But sadly, this quirk is very bad for long range. So yeah, let's move on. So number 14 we got Suyu Asui. Her quirk is frog, which gives her the properties of frog. She has a very long tongue. She can camouflage as well as stick to walls. Many of you are probably shocked that she is this low, though the reason for this is that her physical abilities aren't the best. Her tongue isn't that strong, and overall, it doesn't pack that much of a punch. You can argue her higher. So at number 13 we got Meso Shoji. His quirk is Dupli Arms, which gives him in 3 extra arms, noses, eyes, tentacles, etc. On each side, which is pretty powerful. But we haven't seen much of this quirk since he has very little screen time. So I don't really know where to put him. I think this is a good spot though. He also looks like Kakashi. So at number 12 we got Sato. His quirk is Sugar Rush, which gives him the ability to get an extreme power boost after he has eaten a ton of grams of sugar. Though after 3 minutes or so, he gets extremely sleepy and tired, this power boost is over. So if he can't really defeat the person before this power boost runs out, he is basically fucked. Because after that, he isn't any strong anymore. So I can't place him any higher, sadly. So next up we got Hansa Zero. It's very weird because I see a lot of people underestimate this guy. His quirk is Tape, which gives him the ability to produce tape. Though this is pretty much like Spider-Man because he swings a lot around like Spider-Man. He also captures people like Spider-Man. He has a lot of the same abilities like Spider-Man, though just not physically that strong. So at number 10 we got Pinky. Her quirk is Acid, which gives her the ability to produce unlimited acid at will. The downsides of this is that she doesn't have the biggest range, neither she have had that much screen time. She have to have 2 1v1s, one against Tokiyami where she got destroyed, and one against Yuga where she destroyed Yuga. She is pretty agile though, since she can skate around with her acid. So at number 9 we got Ochako Uraraka. Her quirk is gravity, which allows her to manipulate the gravity of anything or anyone she touches. This is a very powerful quirk, and she's also very good at using this. Obviously, there is a limiter to this quirk. You can't have unlimited kilos manipulating at the same time, but it is over a ton. So very, very good at using the quirk, and she also has gun hit martial arts, so in hand-to-hand combat she isn't bad either. There isn't many downsides about her. So at number 8 we got Yayoro Sumomo. Her quirk allows her to create anything she wants, but this burns her fat cells, and obviously she isn't that good at using a quirk yet. She can't just like create a nuke. But she's very clever though, and she's definitely going places since she's a lot stronger than she was in the beginning of the series. And I think there's a lot of potential in her. And she's also number 1 of the girls in my opinion. So yeah, let's move on. So at number 7 we've got Kaminari Denki. His quirk is electrification, which gives him the ability to electrocute anything he touches, also electrocute his own body. He can go up to over 2 million volts, which is insane. He's gotten a lot better using his quirk since the beginning. Though there's a huge downside to this quirk, and this is that, as you can see on the photo, he goes stupid after using this quirk too much, sadly. So at number 6 we got the class rep that nobody asked to be class rep, but apparently he is the class rep. Makes no sense, I know. But anyway, at number 6 we got Tenya Ida. His quirk is engine, which gives him these engines on his foot, which gives him a huge speed boost and a kick boost. He is physically pretty strong, but he got defeated by Shoto Todoroki. I think there's a lot of potential in him. So at number 5 we got Kirishima. His quirk is hardening, which gives him the ability to harden his body. This is a very, very good quirk, and he is physically extremely strong and very good at using this quirk. He has been able to go toe-to-toe with Bakugo for a couple of seconds, which is already impressive, but he just got the Red Ride Unbreakable, which is a huge mode where he goes extra hard. Good for. So at number 4 we got Tokiyami. His quirk is Dark Shadow, which gives him this dark shadow that he can control at will. This is kind of like an sort of animal that is physically pretty strong. He has pretty good range, and he himself can also like kind of use this as an armor. This is a pretty weird quirk. But overall there's a huge downside. I don't know if it's a downside, but in the dark he can't control it, and it just gets so strong that it quite literally defeated one of the League of Villains. So at number 3 we got Bakugo. His quirk is Explosion, which gives him the ability to like produce explosions from the sweat of his palms. He is extremely strong and is also Izuku's rival. Yeah, anger issues. What can I say? So at number 2 we have Shoto Todoroki, and I don't think this comes to a surprise to anybody. His quirk is a double quirk. He has a good quirk, an ice quirk, and a good fire quirk. Then he combines these two, and then it's quite literally so strong. He had been trained by the second strongest hero in the series all his life, and yeah, like this guy, he has also really moved in places since the beginning of the series. This is a no-brainer. Number 1 is Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku. He's the main character of the show, which obviously gives him the ability, like, number one. Anyway, his quirk is One for All, which is quite literally All Might's quirk, which gives him 7 other quirks too. If you read the manga and the newest episodes, you can see that he has multiple quirks that he can use, and all of them are actually strong. Yeah, no-brainer. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Obviously, this is my opinion. It's debatable whether or not it's wrong, but yeah, see you.